Yeah. This is for the horse in the back that's just leaning in.
He
Yeah.
actually works with the hotel. No, we don't actually need that.
You don't need them, but you also have terrible sense of bringing people in because if they can't hear that people are talking, then they're not going to walk in.
I know you love microphones. So if we want to use microphones, we can use microphones.
I always give Saber so much crap about microphones.
He's such a microphone holic, and he will use it if he can.
Wow, you're actually being really nice about this. Like,
I know.
I'm waiting for you to throw me under the bus.
What bus?
That'd be really good.
Oh.
The Zuber bus.
All right, I think it's time for us to kick this off. It's 2:30. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. This is a podcast panel.
Hi. Welcome in.
It's a combination. Yeah. Because we do a podcast, Paley and myself do one with two other folks. It's called the POS Podcast. Our two friends who aren't here include Tommy Oliver, Bernie Kears, that's his alias, and then Jim Gizriel, and he's not here either.
No.
But they're here in spirit. Their souls are here.
But both of them will be at BronyCon.
Yeah, they'll be in Baltimore for our panel there. And then all three of us, including Grace, do another podcast called the Semi-Perfect Podcast that also includes our friend Pamela Matt, who's not here, and then Race's girlfriend, Toodles, who's also not here.
Yeah.
So we got some abstinence.
So that's what we're here to talk about.
All right, so some folks aren't here, but that's fine. We're going to combine this and have some fun. This is a very laid-back panel. It's not going to be like some strict agenda. If anything, it's about us just chatting with you with any questions or stories.
We're just going to have fun, guys. I want to point out that they have glass. Like not like the fake plastic glass. I was convinced that these are just those fake fancy.
No, these are for real.
Yeah, but like, do they just like keep just after each panel they just kind of empty them out and just put them back?
Good to go.
Rub off that. Oh.
Yeah, here I'm like touching them like I feel bad for the next person. I was like,
well, this one, I mean, someone was thirsty in the last panel. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. All right.
So, how many of you guys are from Minnesota? Is there anyone here from out of state?
Yes.
Technically.
Wow, that was a lot of hands.
From out of state?
North Dakota.
North Dakota.
Wisconsin.
Georgians.
Anybody from outside the country? Good. We don't
Good.
want them here.
Someone's bigger French guy.
No, I'm just playing. Yeah, I'm from Georgia. Palo's from North Carolina, and then Race is from California. So we are all out-of-staters as well. But it's always nice to visit Minneapolis. It's a very nice city. It's interesting with the location change, how you go from like old school asbestos hotel to like fancy like a trillion outlets for your room for this hotel. Which is always nice.
I honestly was freaking out this morning because I'm like, they have water pressure here.
I can charge everything.
And granted, as a Californian, I'm also freaking out about they have water here. So
yeah, that's why he has that picture.
That's right. This is mine.
There's two kinds of thirsty.
You guys need to like take care of this stuff here. This is sacred in California.
We always have water.
You don't have Brita?
Oh yeah, I hear that.
We have over 1,000 weeks worth of it. Do you still like their Skype and whatever the heck it is, like videos of you flushing the toilet over and over again?
Me doing flushing the toilet?
Yeah.
To answer, yes, he does. He'll just like send me random text messages
I did do that,
of flushing an empty toilet.
Right?
I hope it's an empty toilet.
Yeah, so for this panel, you guys, it's just an open discussion.
Yeah, we're just gonna shoot the breeze, as they say. Welcome in, guys.
Also,
Thanks for
we
joining.
have a Who's Line panel once again at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
We have a fedora in the back near that water container.
It is a trilby.
I'm sorry, trilby.
Wow.
Never heard that Pokemon before. There are some paper and pens back there, and we're doing two types of games that require audience suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
One being Scenes from a Hat, where you write something like, what Emmy Larson's thinking right now, or unlikely characters in MLP.
Yeah, you come up with a prompt.
And
So,
then we react to it on stage during the game, to your suggestion. And also there's another game that we really need your help with. It's called Who's Line. It's called Who's Line, the game, where Race and I believe will be the ones on stage, and there's a scene given to us. And during the scene, you pull out pieces of paper that you write down like sentence prompts.
Yeah, it's like a line of dialogue.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I really hate Zootopia. And then
What a jerk, right?
So there were pieces of paper like this back there. If you want to just write down like a sentence for a Who's Line game, just rip it off.
Yeah.
I can't wait to pull those out of my pocket.
And please designate, like, if it's a Who's Line one, put down like a W
yeah.
at the top for Who's Line. If it's scenes from a hat, don't worry about writing anything at all because it'll just be the ones that are not scenes from a hat.
Yep.
So yeah, just, if y'all want to do that later in the panel.
Yeah, if you come up with anything. And yeah, like we said, we're just gonna kind of chat it up with you guys. So we know that there's quite a few out-of-state people here, so that's awesome, including us up here.
I know some of y'all said you watched the podcast. Just real quickly, since the room has grown a bit, how many of you do not watch the Semi-Perfect or POS podcast? And don't worry, we're not offended.
Yeah.
We wouldn't watch it either. We do the podcast. It's bi-weekly. We do the POS podcast on Wednesdays, Race, myself, and Paleo, and others. And
You're already messing this
we
up.
alternate. What's that?
POS podcast.
POS podcast is on
They're the
Mondays.
same, whatever.
This is why we have him run.
Go ahead, Captain. Welcome, my captain.
So the Semi-Perfect podcast is on Wednesdays.
So the cringe will absolutely go off the charts during this panel, as you all know. All right, so so the Semi-Perfect podcast, all three of us, and then Toodles and Pam on that, we do that bi-weekly, and then it alternates with Paleo, myself, Tommy, and Jim, with POS podcast on Mondays.
Right.
And we usually do it in the evenings, and we also have YouTube channels where we upload the podcast. I'm just throwing it out there for those who want to. If you haven't seen it, you can watch it there if you want to.
And they're also on YouTube as well, right? So
Yeah, so you can just search either POS podcast or Semi-Perfect podcast and they'll show up.
yeah, we talk about. I know that you guys. Well, I guess both podcasts really just kind of talk about whatever.
Yeah.
In the Semi-Perfect podcast, we talk about MLP a little bit, and then POS is
more like entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Across the board.
What are you trying to say about MLP?
It's not entertainment.
Oh, okay.
Just joking. Okay, well, on that note, if you guys want to ask any questions or whatever, just shoot the breeze. By all means, don't be
Do you
shy.
have a crystal ball with you?
Crystal ball.
Do you have your crystal ball?
Did you bring your crystal
I
ball?
couldn't get to TSA with mine. They asked questions like, what is this for? And I'm like, for seeing the future. And they're like, we'll have to pull you aside for additional screening. And I'm going through Atlanta, so that was about an hour or so.
That must have been nice. What about you?
My friend was wondering if she could give you a muffin.
Your friend looks surprised about this.
I'm never one to turn down a free muffin.
Yes, it's hard to turn down a free muffin like this year.
If you want to save it for later, by all means. If you want to bring it up now, I am. Where did the muffin thing for Derby come from? Did the show talk about it?
Thank you. I think she
wow,
says the word muffin.
She does?
Thank you so much. What type are these?
They're banana nut muffins.
Ooh,
Did you make
banana
these
nut.
yourself?
These are some of my favorite.
Thank
So
you so
welcome
much.
to the panel where you're just going to watch us eat food. Hope that you're all having a great time.
Good.
Thank you so much. Yeah, didn't she say muffins at some point? Like I think
ASMR videos where it's like. Those videos are out there. All right, questions or anything.
Yeah, I mean,
How y'all doing today?
Yeah.
It's hot out.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a 200 episode?
Ooh, there better be.
This will be good.
All right.
You think
We gotta make them what?
You think we'll get there, episode 200? When do you think the show's going to end? Let's start with that bright note.
All right.
It's gonna end when The Simpsons goes.
Oh God, so never.
Right.
That's gonna be interesting when like one of the VAs for The Simpsons eventually like, either retires officially or in a worse scenario passes away.
Yeah, like one of the main VAs. Because like the VA for Musical Revival died.
Oh yeah, he's a
Yeah.
teacher for Bart, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Huh. Well, I guess he keeps trucking on. On that very bright note, who's your favorite pony, guys?
Oh no, she's dead.
Okay. I don't know why I saw this guy walking with his green shirt and I thought it was a Nick Wilde cosplayer. It is? Nice.
Oh my god. I love it.
How many of y'all see Zootopia?
I told you he'd like
Yeah?
it.
Did y'all like it?
Yes.
Yeah.
How many total times
Yeah?
did you go?
How many times did I see it?
Over, like,
In theaters, I saw it 23 times.
how many times did you go?
I'm not kidding. I saw it 23 times in theaters. What?
How many times, like, the most times did you go in 1 week?
In 1 week? I think I went 4 or 5 times in a week.
Holy.
Yeah.
Because one day, what happened was my theater which I kind of thought like once it was done showing it, that was going to be my last time seeing it in theaters. So what happened was my mom was like, oh, I want to see it again, but she falls asleep really easily in movies. So she's like, well, we have to see it early enough. So we saw a 7:30, and there was also like a 10:30 that was showing. And so we already planned it out that Thursday night we were going to go see the 7:30. Then I'm looking at their schedule and I realize, oh no, the 10 o'clock is their last time ever showing it at my theater. And I promised myself that I would see it the last time my theater ever showed it. I'd have to be there. So I'm like, okay. So I watched it with my mom. I walked her to her car. I walked back to the theater.
This is so dumb.
I purchased another ticket for this exact same movie.
And mind you, aren't you the kind of type where you're like, today is going to be a double feature?
I
sneaks into other movies.
Yeah, I'm the kind of person who like, if we plan this out right, we can catch this movie right after this movie airs. And I've never purchased 2 movie tickets on the same day, let alone for the same movie. So, but to be fair,
Go on.
I met somebody. There was one other person in the final showing happening. It was like 10:30 at night, so it was pretty late on a weekday. And this was a guy who I had recognized a couple times. I saw it at the theater. He had like this the Fox hoodie, and so every time I saw him, I was like, okay. So I knew he had seen it a couple times. But as I'm explaining to the person I'm buying the ticket from, like, oh yeah, crazy that I'm seeing it twice. They're like, oh yeah, there's a guy who's seen it 55 times. I was like, excuse me? What do you mean? And then I'm like, wait, is it the guy with the Fox hoodie? Yeah. So I went in, and he's the only other guy in there, and I just walk right up to him, and I'm like, so word on the street is that you've seen this movie 55 times.
Get off my territory.
Yeah, I was like, dang. Yeah, so I mean, it was like that guy, he had seen it 10 times during its opening weekend.
You're afraid to approach a person like that. I'm like, I should have been into the stable.
He saw it like I think a total of 10 times in like IMAX 3D, another like 15 times in 3D. Like it wasn't just him going 2D. Like I think he like spent close to $900 total seeing the movie so many times. And even I was like, take a break. As I'm here on my 23rd time, I'm like, at least I have some sense.
Were you envious at all? Where you're like,
I was medal? No, that like he blew me out of the water. Like it wasn't even close. So I was like, props to you. Yes?
Favorite line from the movie?
Favorite line from the movie?
Huh. No, so there's a end.
I mean, I can quote the entire movie.
well, how have you all not seen the movie so far? Do we don't want to do anything that's too close to a spoiler? It's a really...
What the heck? No, you guys have no excuse.
Shut up. It's a really good movie.
Okay, yeah.
There's a great scene where there's a character who was like, had a kind of a redemption arc, and he shows back up in the story, and he's like, he starts off as kind of a southern type, kind of like that typical, like, stereotypical, like, no, I'm from the South. And then later on, he's like, talking about, he's like, I was a real jerk to you, and I had a lot of, pent up aggression. It sounds like he's definitely went to therapy and finally sorted his emotions. I love that guy. I love his dialogue. His name's Gideon, so keep your eye open for him when you watch the movie, as I spoil it. Turns out Judy was dead the entire time.
I'm gonna not give the context of anything to this, but those that have seen the movie are gonna know what I'm referring to, because I'm gonna bring up 2 things. But the first one that we quote quite a lot, and those that have seen it are gonna know the scene, is just that, Nick, like, wow. But I love the banter between Judy and Nick, and just that line that when Judy gets to, it's called a hustle, sweetheart, and she just like has that look. There's nothing more satisfying. She's just like, oh, got you here. I love that. I don't know, I just
the one
love
hand
it all.
on the hip and everything.
Oh yeah, she knows what she did. And she's just like, it sucks to be you right now.
I like how Fennec follows it up.
Oh.
Got you good.
Oh god, that laughter that she just like comes, I love that movie.
Do you?
A little bit, yeah.
No, the movie,
I bought 2 Blu-rays.
I was surprised that Disney would tackle like any kind of issues that come close to being like a social issue. That's not really their thing. Like they'll talk about like love and like Lilo and Stitch was about like they talked about family and how like their family's kind of broken and everything. But this one was talking about like race and female, like what's we're looking for?
Gender issues.
I guess gender issues, yeah, and like the police force and everything, and I guess jobs in general. So I was like, dang, they're hitting some major themes that are very mature and they tackle it very, I think, efficiently.
Yeah, it's not too in your face.
It's not heavy-handed.
Yeah.
No, and what's cool about it is that like very early on you realize that they managed to create a society that's actually more complex than our own. Because I mean, there's a lot of things going on when you have that many different species interacting with each other.
Yeah, they keep the proportions, which is really neat. They make it work, except for one huge glaring problem that I have a beef with, is that if you are a bigger animal in Zootopia, you pay for more stuff. It's like the big old popsicles for elephants was like $20.
Well, then get the diet size.
Like, I know what that is.
You're right.
But the elephants have to pay more for food, while like mice who are smaller only take $1. So there's a huge like wage gap. That's a problem. I think that is not fair to larger animals.
Well, then run for mayor. Jeez.
There is a vacant position, I suppose. But there is that little discrepancy. I'm sure directors are like, we'll figure it out.
You can ask them about it. They have Q&A sessions all the time.
That sounds boring.
Or you could just complain about it.
I will.
I know you will.
That's right. As an American, it's my God-given right to complain, but not listen to any kind of solution. Boosh. All right. Next question.
Biggest laugh in Zootopia?
Biggest laugh.
Zootopia panel.
Like I said, that
They're making a sequel. Biggest laugh. The DMV office scene was great. Like, even though they revealed a lot of it in the trailer, there was like, it's like, wow, this is so hilarious. Because for any person who had to deal with the DMV, you're like, I know this pain. I know how awful it is to stand in line. Like, when I went to the DMV last, even said like, you're not allowed to use your phone. It's like, what's your problem? Why do you guys want to torture us so badly? Like, let us have our phones at least look at stuff while we're standing in line in purgatory.
One of my favorite scenes was the beginning scene with the play.
Yeah, the kids.
Yeah, and like, I'll be an actuary.
Yeah.
That
I
was
love when they
fantastic.
throw in adult jokes like that, where it's not like necessarily dirty, but just kind of like a kid's not gonna know what an actuary is.
Yeah.
or the fact that they had a whole scene, the Mr. Big scene.
Yeah, it's like from The Godfather and everything. We were talking about this yesterday, where they threw in an adult joke that's like, where Mr. Big's like, "What are you, a performer?"
Yeah, I got onto this one pretty early, where I went, okay, so he's asking her if she's a performer, and let's just think about this.
And we
She's
won't go
dressed up as a
into
cop.
details or anything.
No, we won't go into too much details, but I guess a cop that goes door to door as a performer, it's like, what kind of
Well, like in MLP, they had Big Lebowski. That's a very adult movie. They have a lot of adult things, but when you do it subtly and tastefully, people aren't going to get upset. It goes under the radar, or the censors are like, that's fine, unless you're Animaniacs. Then you get away with everything.
And then also, like I said, I think one of the biggest laughs it got out of me also had to be the Nick. Like,
It's timing, it's comedy.
It is. It's just fantastic. Yeah, you got something?
Yeah, I was gonna say the main thing that really kind of caught me with Zootopia was the realization that there's probably no other kind of type of movie that could get away with the entire naturalist society.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, well,
they were so proud. Disney was like, Disney, I guess, like even made a big deal out of it at like D23. They're like, hey everybody, we finally have Disney's first nude scene.
Yeah,
and they were like,
yeah, they execute it properly.
No, they did. Yeah.
You got like
There's
Jungle
no
Book.
other way to do that scene. They have to be animals to do that.
Yeah.
And like the positions they had the animals in, like
Exactly.
again, when you talk about like tasteful humor for like a parent, I don't think a kid's gonna completely latch onto the fact like
No,
why?
kids are still laughing because usually kids feed off other laughter.
Yeah.
And adults would be laughing at that as a fact, like, we know what this is about. And the kids are like, haha, that elephant's making a funny pose or something.
It was, yeah. Just incredible. I'm so happy that we did manage to get a Zootopia panel going.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Okay, I was actually going to go to a question.
It better be about Zootopia.
We got some questions that were submitted via Twitter.
Yeah, here's from one of our regulars, Alan Rear. Favorite animated series from the Disney afternoon?
All right, how many of y'all are familiar with the Disney afternoon? All right.
This is easy for me.
Anybody, I guess, not familiar with it, I suppose? Okay, so the Disney afternoon was a block of cartoons back in like the, I believe, like late
80s, early 90s.
Was it late 80s?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So like things like Tailspin, DuckTales, duck-themed everything apparently.
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck, Mighty Ducks. Like
Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers.
Ducks were everything to Disney for a while. Like, we need more ducks. The Quack Family. It's funny because in the Mighty Ducks, yeah. Well, in the beginning of was it DuckTales? Yeah. Like Donald Duck is like leaving his nephews and going off to join the Navy. It's like, I forgot that he was in the Navy. I completely forgot that he was actually.
That's why he has a uniform.
It's his uniform.
And everyone's like, it always comes rushing back. And I'm like, oh yeah, he's the Navy, all right.
Just like Black Griffin.
I think yeah. I think Donald Duck actually was like a product for like propaganda. No. He was way before World War II. Was he?
Yeah.
I'll have to figure it out.
Didn't they have like? I thought they had. Yeah.
So no, the Popeye was just barely.
Did they have something with like Donald Duck and like?
Yeah.
Like there was like a
Yeah,
Nazi
like-
suit or something.
No, he was.
Yeah.
There was a really. Okay, I love propaganda videos, and I know that the past is full of all kinds of like, I guess, offensive content, but it's from a different time. You can't really say it didn't happen because it did. You have to accept that it did and be like, okay, well, we moved on. Like Warner Brothers are really good about that. They don't hide any of their past because it happens. Disney's more like, shh, some of this has never happened. And we're like, we're pretty zippity doodah sure it did. And
It's on their sing-along VHS.
yeah, we still got copies. They're like, we thought you burned that. We're like, I think they actually will like go out of the way and buy the copies back if you have them, but don't.
It's funny to think that nowadays you could never go that route if you think about it. Like you can't release something and then say, oh, we're taking it back because the internet is like, no, it's around.
There's lost media and it does exist, but Warner Brothers is like, guys, it happened. Here it is. It's part of history. Why hide from it? I completely agree with that. Don't hide history. Don't deny it. There was for Donald Duck though. There was an episode where he is.
It was called The Führer's Face.
The Führer's Face. Yeah, he's a Nazi. He's at the Nazi camp and he's in a factory and they're showing off how horrible of a life it is for a Nazi soldier. He's getting beaten up, screamed at. He's a moment where like, so Phil, I'll let you have a vacation. And they drop like this backdrop of a pretty mountain. He's like, vacation's over, and they pull the drop back. Go back to work. And at the end, he wakes up from his dream. And what's so funny is when he wakes up, he's in the most patriotic room ever conceived. Like the blankets, the everything, the wallpaper. He had a Statue of Liberty, and he wakes up and he's like, I can't do his voice. He's like, I'm so glad to be an American in the United States, and he starts kissing the Statue of Liberty, and I'm like, even Captain America would be like, let's tone it down. Here, Hydra. But there's so many propaganda. I encourage you all to go check them out because it gives you an insight of how times have changed. Like Popeye was big propaganda for fighting like the Japanese in the Pacific, and you see how like people use media to like I guess persuade the mind of like fight for America or the Germans are bad. Like, there's a really good video. I recommend one. What was it called? There's a one that Disney worked on. It's about the life of a young Nazi.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's very mature because it starts off kind of cartoony, but I think it's super serious at the end where it talks about like you feel bad for the Nazi. Which I thought that was very mature. But they're like these poor soldiers, these poor kids are brainwashed by Hitler and then march off to their death. It's like, wow. I feel so bad bringing down the tone of this panel. I just noticed.
So to answer your question, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers is my favorite Disney show. Disney afternoon.
Once again, someone walk back like, oh, there's a Nazis and walk right back out.
It's called Education for Death. Is the name of the cartoon.
Yay! I'm a really big. I love history. I'm all for it, and that's why I guess talking about this. Like, I encourage you all. Like, if you're, if you feel up to it or whatever, check it out. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what's your favorite Disney afternoon cartoon?
Oh yes, Education for Death. No, my favorite. I'd have to do DuckTales. DuckTales is fantastic.
What's
I'd
your?
say Goof Troop.
Okay, yeah. So Rescue Rangers. So we covered 3 of them,
Yeah.
which goes to show how good that block was because there's a lot of people that I know. Well, just a bunch of different.
Tailspin.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, by the way, like ACRacebest, the AC in the name comes from Acorn Cafe, which is a forum devoted to fans of Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. That's where the AC came from in my name. So when my parents were figuring out what they put on the birth certificate, they're like, "Yo, he'll be a fan of this."
All right. Question from the audience. Yes. What's up, man?
So, what's your favorite MLP episode?
Our favorite MLP episode.
I like-
Let's see, what's your favorite MLP episode first? All of them?
Put them on the spot,
You're
man.
like, don't turn these back on me, man. What's your name, by the way?
Zach?
Nice to meet you, Zach. I think my favorite episode has to be the season 2 finale with like the changelings and everything. That was fun. I enjoyed that one.
Season 4 finale, I loved, like with Tyrek and just the insane battle scene. But I think it.
Was that cool?
I still think
Dragon
it.
Ball Z and like lasers and everything.
Yeah, it still ranks second though for me for the episode 100. Just the insanity of that totally spoke to me.
How about you, Matthew?
I like Green in Your Color from the first season. I also like It's About Time from the second season. Like those are kind of tied for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, question from the Twitter.
Okay, this is from Shyfro, who makes a lot of stuff for the Semi-Perfect podcast. Were you guys discouraged when you thought about starting a podcast? If so, how did you overcome this?
Anybody in the audience do any podcast of their own that they host, or any kind of a YouTube channel, or any kind of content creating from the audience? Anybody? Any artist in the room with us? All right, don't be afraid.
Nice.
Musician.
Yeah.
All right, shout it out what you are.
Kind of mixed.
Mix? You're not. All right.
What's that?
Metal art.
Metal art.
Welder about 35 years.
Welder.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
I respect welders.
No,
I work with them all the
awesome.
time.
I love it when you get like things in the fandom that are like, there's a guy who is a metal worker as well called Silver Slinger, and he makes really awesome like jewelry and like I guess necklaces and whatnot. I was like, wow, what a cool like talent to utilize.
Isn't that musician with the Tesla coil going to be at this convention?
I think so.
Yeah.
And there's speaking of artists and whatnot, like Earth Pony Creations with his like laser burning
Yeah.
wood
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
I have
It's
some of
like,
those.
yeah.
Humans are very expressive creatures, and it's cool
I
to
love
see
it.
them have that broad range of like whether it's singing a song.
Good work,
or-
humans. Good work.
Good job, you man. You're doing a good job.
We did it.
We did it, guys. All right. So, what was the question? Discouraged. I mean, when you're taking on any kind of project that requires you to make content, it's a little bit daunting. But all I can say is just, quote Shia LaBeouf, just do it. Just go for it. Whether it's going to be a mountain of work, whatever. You just got to get to it. And even if it's bad work at first and results, you're still doing something and you're making progress. That's just my advice to you.
Yeah, plus if you're working with people that, friends or people you enjoy working with, I think it makes it a lot easier too, which unfortunately isn't the case for us.
We don't clap too often. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Don't let your memes be dreams.
No, yeah, it is a lot of fun. I know we wouldn't be doing it if we didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
So that's what it kind of comes down to. You had a question?
Yeah, I'm just wondering how you guys deal with trolls, because obviously you're on YouTube. So
Trolls.
Aim for the neck.
There's a movie coming out, apparently called Trolls, from those like old
From DreamWorks.
toy.
Oh yeah, the little like hair troll.
And to tell you how to deal with that, I go to sleep and I curl up in a ball and I'm like, I can't believe there's a movie coming out based on
What's
this.
insane is I saw they finally released some footage from it, and it looks really good. I'm like, stop doing this! Like, stop.
What footage did you see?
I saw it was a scene where like they meet like some cloud, and the way they animated it looked really neat. It was almost like art tools, and like someone shot it frame for frame. It's like, what's going on?
Trolls.
With these weird like this DreamWorks has a bad habit of taking. I'm quoting I think Jim on this one. One step forward and 2 steps back. How to Train Your Dragon, and then like. Home. And I'm not trying to beat on movies that people might like, but I didn't like Home, and I didn't like, what was it else they made? Shrek.
Turbo.
Oh, Shrek. Turbo's okay. It's just,
Yeah,
they're,
alright.
Turbo was interesting.
They make interesting movies. Like, Pixar's more like, we've got to make this perfect. Well, DreamWorks is like, we'll make it perfect if we do enough films.
To actually answer your question, I think we've all dealt with people, contacting us through YouTube comments or various other forms of the internet. I don't know, I think it kind of is a cliche answer, and sometimes it's harder to explain, but really, I think we all kind of subscribe to the ignore it type thing, and I know it's hard to, but the thing is that you always have to put things in perspective, is that these people that are saying whatever it is that they're saying about you, because we're bronies, we're guys that like My Little Pony, and we had, especially like back in the day, it was like a thing. You either liked the show or you hated on the show. And it just, I don't know, you just kind of know that these people don't know who you are. Their opinion should matter to you.
The older you get, the more you realize that the opinions of strangers, especially ones who are just hating on you, who cares? You're not going to see them again in your life, who cares? Like, you just kind of, you go through the stuff that's like constructive criticism, where people want you to improve, like, hey, like, somebody left a comment on my video saying the audio in your recording for your voice and the audio and the video clips you use are not leveled. I'm like, that's some good criticism. I need to fix that next time. Versus, go die, this stuff stinks. It's like, that's, who cares? I don't care.
You didn't care about my comment?
You don't do that again. The more, I guess, of an audience you get over time, it is inevitable. You will get people who hate your stuff and be mean. Ignore it. They don't matter. It doesn't matter. All that matters is the opinions of people who you value, your friends, your colleagues. Some of your viewers are like, yeah, you could do this next time. Like, it's up to you to discern from comments that you know are trying to help you versus ones that are trying to put you down. And once again, just ignore it. Like, in the grand scheme, it doesn't matter. Because, I mean, when you're like, I don't know, 60 years old, you're going to be like, remember that comment that said this? Like, no, I don't care. Like, I've moved on in life and other things.
In the grand scheme, they don't matter.
They don't matter.
But in your heart, in your hearts, you really can say they don't matter. I want to start a channel because I have things to say and I want to say
Do it.
But
do it. No, simple. That's it.
really,
Just do
that
it.
easy?
Yeah.
Even if you hit like people who are being mean to your stuff, just keep going. Like, it's so funny. I've seen channels that actually are like clever enough to where, like, there's a guy called Double Sweet who's like a legendary person in my eyes, where he started making content. And he started off when he was like 12 or whatever, making these cringy videos, and people like, right, he made some really weird videos, and people are like laughing, like, you're a weirdo. And they kept doing it over and over and progressing. And it's like, this guy's actually brilliant. These people are eating out of his palm. And he made a channel, he has like 25,000 subscribers, and you can tell, like, he's brilliant. He completely knew his audience would react that way, and he completely fooled them. So the trolls got trolled. And it's insane. It's all about, once again, like, your own self-worth. You know who you are, you know what you want to do, and if these people pop up in the comments saying, oh, this stinks, whatever, like, you know, are you fulfilled with the content you made? Are you wanting to improve and progress? That's all that matters. I mean, there might be a comment that just strikes you in the heart, where someone's like, wow, I hate the sound of this guy's voice. And you're like, there'll be a point, though, where you just have to accept that. There'll be people who don't like you and don't like your stuff. That's fine. That's the world we live in.
And most of the time, they're people who don't know you anyways.
It's one of those things.
What is it that they're not liking?
Well, like, it's weird, because it's human nature to be like, oh, you look great, you look great, you look great. You get told that from 100 people. One person says you look fat. And it's like, and it ruins your day, because that one comment, it's like a Yelp review. Like, you read 100 great Yelp reviews of like a restaurant, one says this place gave me stomach flu or whatever, and you're like, ooh, that's the one that matters the most. Yeah. One person said this. That we value more bad than good, because we, I guess, take it personally.
Yeah.
Once you get over that hill, it becomes a lot easier.
Yeah, I was going to give an example of that, because I recently bought a mouse.
What'd you name it?
Timothy?
Recently bought a computer mouse.
Oh.
What'd you name it?
Anyway. Yeah, but I was looking at reviews on Amazon, and then I saw a few negative reviews, and it was like, my mouse doesn't work after 2 weeks, and I was like, what? But it had like mostly good reviews, and I was like, I was looking at that one the most.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I hope that doesn't happen to me.
Yeah, because you
I dropped it in the bathtub and it doesn't work anymore. Terrible product.
You keep trying to feed it, but it doesn't eat any of the corn. It just sits there with the other mice dead. We tried plugging it in. All right, question from online?
We're not really getting.
All right, good. From the audience. Yes.
I have another question.
Yes.
What's your favorite internet meme?
I always go back to the Doge one. Whatever! D-O-G-E. If I say dog meme, then everyone's like, oh, you're saying it wrong. You know how I actually picked up saying Doge? Is my best friend Tommy. That's how he like understands that word to be said, so he's like, Doge. And I've always said it like that.
Is it because it was a NASCAR?
It's because it was on a NASCAR race car at Talladega, driving around at 200 miles per hour, and I'm like, okay, you win.
I like the, I have more of a refined taste when it comes to my internet memes. There are these Roman memes where people will take, like, when the barbarians are invading, and you have like a Roman guy going like that. It's really stupid to take like Roman history and combine it with internet. Oh, here, okay. I was reading a comment last night that just made me laugh where, okay, so 4chan had this, I guess, meme where it's called like, "I Lamo," and they use like an alien for that. And someone said like, or something like, "I Lamo," whatever. So they're saying like, you know, the day will come where aliens will finally make first contact with humanity. And they're being all serious, and we're all like, reminds me of that one, "I Lamo" meme, and they are like, what are they talking about?
Wouldn't it be
so
terrible?
pretty much it's going to be that no matter what significant event happens in humans, you know, in history from this point on, we're going to make memes about it, guys. Memes are going to last forever from this point on, where it's like, we discover warp speed, and we're like, whoop, like a frog flying through warp speed or something. That's going to be it. Our species is forever cursed.
Do you have a favorite meme?
SpongeBob?
Yeah, pretty much anything involving SpongeBob, like remember those fryers? Yeah.
Caveman SpongeBob.
Yeah, and also like all the stuff that's come out of Overwatch. It's high.
Yeah, Overwatch, good stuff.
You got a question?
Cool.
Were you just like phasing out like, they're not going to answer?
What's up?
What's your favorite dank meme?
Next question.
Alright, on the question, I saw...
You had a hand over here.
Yes.
So going back to Zootopia, you probably know about the original idea was that the predators kind of have shock collars on.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering what your thoughts was that. With that, some people wish they kept it. And I'm just wondering.
I'm really happy that the movie came out like it did. Like, for those that don't know, the movie, or the story for the movie didn't actually really become concrete until 9 months before that movie came out.
Which is insane.
Which is insane if you think about how long these, I mean...
It's a perfect movie, Dave.
Right? That's funny. For me, I wouldn't change anything from, well, I mean, I guess you can always say that, but okay, to answer your question, I'm happy with the storyline they chose. And I like the direction they went, and I think they had the right idea, because for those that don't know, the original story was actually going to be through Nick's eyes, and it was going to be, there was, the storyline involved these shock collars that the predators had to wear, and it was like the way that the prey would feel comfortable having them intermingle in society.
Really dark.
It was super dark, which I think is one reason why a lot of people are like, oh, if only they kept that storyline, but that movie, doing as successful as it's done, I think shows that they went the right route.
I don't think it would have resonated as well.
No, and that's why, like, they made the argument of, we're not connecting with this character. The problem they were having was that they wanted the audience, the viewers of the movie, to like Zootopia. But instead, you get in and 5 minutes into it, you're like, what a terrible, crappy place.
You feel really bad for the predators and how they're being, like, pretty much oppressed in a way.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they, I love the direction they ended up going. And I'm very curious to see, because with the success of this movie, I'd be a lot more surprised if we don't get a sequel.
They will get a sequel.
Thank you, Xavier.
After you make $1 billion, you automatically get a sequel no matter what.
So, yeah.
Avatar's getting 4.
Just like Titanic.
Oh, yeah. Well, that might be a song.
But there was a Titanic too.
It was
It
terrible.
was animated.
Yeah, they made an animated like Titanic 2 where like there's like a talking like squid that like saves the boat. And it's like
Animated?
yes, like it's weird. It's like multiple Titanic like animations.
There was a rapping dog.
There's a rapping dog. Yeah, it was weird.
No, it was the perfect, like, because I remember watching the Nostalgia Critic thing on it, and he pretty much was like, it's like they took the movie Titanic and didn't realize it was actually based on a historical event.
This is popular. Let's make a movie.
The one I'm thinking of is they made like a
I don't
live
even know.
action one of it.
It was an animated
The second
musical.
one, they literally remade the Titanic and did it in like 2011, and then it got hit by a huge tidal wave. It was like the crappiest remake I've ever seen.
So it's like a crossover between like Titanic and Poseidon?
Yeah, pretty much. It was terrible.
It was. You got a question in the back.
Yeah. Ace, have you seen the documentary for the Zootopia?
Which one?
Oh, there's multiple. I can't remember. It was on.
Was it the one that was going around YouTube a couple months ago?
I don't know, but it's been on TV a couple times. It's the one where they're talking about Nick Wilde and his like backstory and all that kind of stuff.
I think so. I think we watched that.
it together.
Yeah.
What did you think about all that? How dark they were going with that.
Well, it kind of connects with the question over here is that I think that it would have made a very interesting movie. It would have been a very dark movie. But again, like, my affection for the Zootopia that we got, like, doesn't leave me going, but too bad they didn't go with the other story. You know, I'm very happy with how they ended up presenting it, because, like, Judy became my favorite character of all time. And it's like, I love the optimism and the let's go get them attitude that she's got, even though she's constantly being, I guess, kind of put into place, or people are trying to put her in her place. Like, even from when she was a kid and her parents are talking to her at the very beginning of the movie, and you're like, you know, it's okay to dream, just don't believe in them too much. That's fine. So, yeah. Yes?
You brought up Spongebob. I watched 2 episodes, and I really just don't get it. Can you help me?
Were they new?
Which season?
Was it?
Oh gosh, it was years ago. Yeah, it was ages.
Okay.
SpongeBob's an
Because
interesting
like
show.
the first 3 seasons, like I have a lot of nostalgia for, because like I watched them as they were coming out, and like those first 3 seasons had like such incredible jokes in them.
Some really brilliant writing in SpongeBob.
And he goes back to the timing, too.
Alright, just set me on fire, SpongeBob!
It's just like you, me, this giant wall.
Yeah.
SpongeBob's a really funny show, and it's been like the flagship for Nickelodeon from like 1999 and onward.
Yeah.
Because like before that was like Rugrats and Doug or whatever.
Yeah.
It was mainly Rugrats, but that came into a close, and then SpongeBob picked it up from that point on.
But after the movie, the creator left.
Steven Hillenburg, he was the creator.
Yeah, and
I think he's back though for the recent season.
Yeah, because people say that the recent season is actually better than like the in between.
It's a goofy show. It's kind of like a bit like Looney Tunes with the crazy shenanigans. It's kind of a bit, I guess, brushed up for today's, I guess, kind of like jokes and culture and whatnot.
So for someone that has watched 2 episodes, what one should I watch, or what season?
Well, fortunately, it's not like it's like a story carries on. It's all like random slice of life.
Yeah.
What season would you recommend?
Why not just season 1?
Yeah.
Sure, why not? Yeah.
There's a lot of classics from there.
Yeah, there are.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, well, I might give it another shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not ugly.
Yes.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever been asked to sign?
A waiver. No, I'm just saying.
A 3-day-old cheeseburger.
Yeah.
I signed the pickle. And they still have it.
Yeah, it's like.
And that was like a year ago.
Impervious to aging.
Yeah.
We're like slightly almost like about to achieve immortality, but for cheeseburgers and not human life.
Well, at least we got one of the check marks down.
Yeah, we can do it. We can keep it up. Yes.
What's your favorite B movie?
B movie?
B movie.
Jerry Seinfeld. I like how Jerry's like bored.
What classifies a B movie?
I don't know exactly. Because is it something where it's after it comes out and people are like jumping?
Yeah, there are some intentional ones.
Like say Paul Blart is a B movie.
Do you have a definition for a B movie?
Okay, that's fair. Lower budget, maybe?
Yeah.
Tom Wiseau's The Room is hilarious.
That's like a C movie.
It's like the alphabet. The Room is hilarious. That's totally, I'd call a B movie, even though it's like really awful. Like, who here watches Red Letter Media? Nobody? Okay, it's a funny, great YouTube channel called Red Letter Media. And it's kind of an older audience, but they do these reviews of like, they'll have a random like selection of just awful movies that are like submitted to them.
Yeah, the best of the worst.
Yeah. And there's some just awful movies from the 90s and 80s that they review. Like they had one where like, it was almost like an ego trip movie for this one director who was like this like super agent. And he's like, I can hack the entire Pentagon at once. And he's in the back of his car with a wrench and he's like trying to screw on a satellite, but there's no bolt. And it's like, what's going on? Like, it's all disjointed. It's wonderful.
I don't know if this classifies, but I think it might. But I was a huge fan as a kid, and I guess still to this day, of all those Ernest movies.
B movies though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think they kind of are.
Like,
I mean, I guess it depends on how much it was Ernest
well,
or
Pee-wee's Big Adventure. That's kind
was
of
Barney
like,
an A-list actor? Because he was.
No, but it's like I don't know. I guess maybe it's subjective at the end. I mean, like my favorite B movie is Civil War. It's like what? No, that's not a B movie at all.
Godzilla or anything like that?
We're
all B.
That's a lot of fish.
I feel like we're calling it kaiju films.
Kaiju
They're almost kind of a
movies.
separate category.
Okay.
Like maybe I don't know. Maybe like bad horror movies,
Because,
like
yeah,
Mystery
that's-
Science Theater. They do a lot of B movies.
MST.
Yeah. Yes. These guys are great. The original riffers.
Do you have
Sorry,
a question there?
that's deliberate.
Yeah, that's a good one. And there's another movie I watched called Rubber. It's about a killer.
Oh my God.
Killer what?
A killer tire.
No, it's not just a killer tire. It has psychological
Yeah, it has
powers.
psychic powers.
So it's Junkrat's Ultimate.
Guys, we're not kidding. I've
Yeah.
seen this movie. It explodes rabbits with its mind powers.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Judy Better.
Yeah, and it's weirdly meta too because there's an audience watching the tire.
It's so weird.
It's really weird.
And then they start like killing each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should see it. It's great.
I think Gremlins can fall into a B movie.
Yeah, it's good though.
Yeah, I'm not saying a B movie doesn't mean it's bad necessarily. It means it's kind of campy. All right, question from you.
What are your thoughts on season 6 so far?
I like it. It's new batch of writers and some of the old ones. I like how they I like the dragon episode. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was my favorite episode so far.
I really enjoyed their the Parks and Rec type episode that they did.
Yeah.
That
Where
was
they interviewed
fun.
the different characters.
Yeah, the interviews and all that. So it's been fun.
Question from you.
What would be your favorite YouTube channel that you just go and watch when you
Okay. So favorite YouTubers, I suppose. Red Letter Media.
I like the Double Toasted guys. They're fun.
I don't watch a lot of low budget TV.
I like Day 9. He does like game reviews or I guess kind of let's plays. Of course, my buddies, they make good stuff. Jim, I love Jim.
Oh yeah, Jim.
Jim makes good
channel,
stuff.
Yeah. Jim Disreal.
Yeah, he does great. Yeah. He knows movies better than anyone, and to hear him really talk about it, it's like, yeah, there's a difference between like I like that movie versus let me show you the intricacies of like the studio and how this came to be. So, question in the back.
Where did you guys think about the recent Heartwarming episode? Specifically the part where Luna is showing her the future.
Whoa.
Psych. What'd y'all think?
Well, I know, so my girlfriend is a massive fan of the Christmas Carol, like a bunch of the renditions. Her favorite one's the Muppets.
Which is a amazing movie.
It is. So she very quickly was like, "This is awesome." I think the thing that we all just kind of chuckled about was, "What a great Christmas episode in May."
It's like there's no rhyme or reason, whatever. All right, question from anyone else? Don't be shy. Oh, yes, sir.
Overwatch has been mentioned, so I feel I have to ask.
Yes.
Favorite hero?
All right, so Overwatch is a new, Team Fortress, shooter,
Yeah, team-based shooter.
Team-based game.
Jimmy Hops is my favorite hero.
He doesn't play video games. I'd say McCree's my favorite. I think he's a great character. I love his how he plays him.
The two I play the most are like Junkrat and Diva.
Yeah, trash. All right, yes.
Do you play on PC or?
PC.
Yep. Prefer computers.
My girlfriend plays on PS4.
I thought she said she was gonna get it on.
Yeah, she's getting on Mac, right?
No, it's not out on Mac.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, then
Shush.
yes, it is.
Shush.
No, it's not. Are you sure it is?
Yeah.
Because that's the whole reason she was going to get a PC.
No,
It's not out on Mac.
I thought it was.
Why do I know this? I don't even play.
Blizzard's usually pretty good about releasing their games on Macintosh.
Maybe it's just not out yet.
If only there was a way we can Google search.
Oh
this.
yeah, if only there was a
While
way.
he looks that up, let's do another question.
Yes.
Yes.
Kind of two-parter. What is one of your favorite games that you've played, and what are some of the games you're looking forward to?
Some video games.
I'm going to go kind of old schoolish, but TF2 took up a lot of hours of my life in college. There were a lot
I
of...
think you're alone in that one.
Yeah.
I like World of Warcraft. That was fun. I haven't played anymore, but I really loved that game and enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to. Overwatch. I was looking forward to. I guess as far as future games go, like No Man's Sky. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm
Yeah, they delayed it again.
I'm looking forward to Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
2.9, 2.78.
3.0.
Maybe they might actually get to 3. They're making more progress in Valve. All right.
Ark Survival Evolved.
Was that I tried playing that game, but Steam wouldn't let me. They kept crashing, and I couldn't get my money back. But that's. I heard it's a fun game where you like play with dinosaurs and like build a dinosaur. Yeah, you like it?
So each time you ride a Spinosaurus, life changes forever.
Now I want to play it.
So wait, so you, Saber, you're telling me that you paid for it and then never got to actually play it?
I tried activating it, and it was an error I guess some people would have.
Yeah, it's probably fixed by now.
Well, it started up and then it turned off, and I couldn't play it. I'm like,
I guess you could say that they hustled you good.
Apparently, Blizzard stated that they currently don't have plans to release on OS X.
Oh, okay,
well, there you go. I win.
All right, question.
Yes. What are your thoughts of the new Battlefield 1 coming out?
Oh, okay, this is so cool. Okay, so Battlefield, for those who don't know, is like kind of like a Call of Duty, like you're a soldier running around shooting other people. Which is, but you know, when it comes to that stuff, is like, I guess you gotta.
But it's like massive battles.
Yeah, massive battles.
Squad-based instead of single person.
That's
the cool thing about Battlefield is that if you play as a squad, you're unbeatable.
Oh yeah. Because Battlefield's a bit of a larger.
I want to play with you.
Yeah.
You sound like you know your stuff.
He's probably like some MLG player. He's like, guessing you're
noob.
Battlefield. So for a while, if you all remember back in like I guess the 80s and 90s, there was a huge World War II surge of like Battlefield, Call of Duty games. And then when Call of Duty started to go like with Modern Warfare, it switched completely to just that stuff for both that and Battlefield. Well, with this current, I guess revamped Battlefield, said, you know what? Screw it. Let's do Battlefield World War I, which really hasn't been done before, like at least efficiently.
At least recently.
Like a handful. Because World War I's a very okay. When it comes to war games, it's sad. Let's be honest. This isn't anything to celebrate, but it's also interesting to put yourself in their position and see like how did war go for them. And World War I is a very grotesque, slow war, and people were, I guess, kind of afraid to play it. But I guess Battlefield's something.
World War I, or World at War, Call of Duty.
World at War?
That was World at War. That was
That was
I thought. I don't know. I'll admit.
It was World War II.
World War II was more about like blitz combat, and it's a lot more quick. World War I was like all trench warfare, and it was really sad with artillery barrages and gas. Because people are like, I'm gonna play a game like that, but I suppose they're gonna try to make it work. Oh, we'll see.
Oh, Battlefield Warcraft.
Battlefield Warcraft. Battlefield 2016 elections.
Oh, there we go.
Tactical wig.
Yeah, you got a question.
I do.
Yes.
Can I classic photobomb the panel, please?
Yes, absolutely. What's your name, by the way?
I'm Rocky.
Nice to meet you, Rocky.
So it's a classic photobomb.
Okay, my daughter. Hi.
Hey, then, give me that hand.
All right.
No. There.
Awesome.
Hey, John was trying to Do you have a whip?
He's daring do.
I do.
Oh my gosh.
I did the whole daring do thing.
Awesome.
My daughter coached me.
That's so awesome.
Dude, I love it.
That's awesome. That's a great relationship.
Very cool.
All right, I think we've got about 7, was that? Oh, there you go.
75 minutes, so. You got another question?
Sure.
Yeah, what's your favorite sequel to a movie?
Good question.
Terminator 2.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that.
It's really good.
I've seen it. Yeah.
I'd have to say Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. Empire Strikes Back. Was it really? That's kind of a go-to. I thought it was really good. How about you?
I'm here to ask the questions.
Dude, stop talking to me. Do you like Star Wars? Who's your favorite character? Like Luke Skywalker, or Han, or Anakin, or Han Solo? Yeah, it's very cool.
My favorite sequel is Rescuers Down Under.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
really good.
yeah.
That's a very underrated Disney film that didn't do so well.
It's a movie that I like better than the original.
I agree.
So.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Did you ever want an airplane that could fly underwater like in Tailspin?
You know, I never wanted an airplane in general because they crash a lot in Tailspin. So I was like, yeah.
When I was a kid, I remember, I don't know why it's kind of jogged a memory. When I was a kid, I was a huge fan of Atlantis, The Lost Empire. Maybe I use the term kid loosely, because I had a hard time maturing, as you can see on my My Little Pony convention.
I was going to say, what changed?
Where I remember in the cereal boxes, they had these little like Atlantis like toys for like these submarines.
Oh yeah.
And I would buy them and then go to the pool and like swim underwater and play with them. And the lifeguard would be hating me, like, is he drowning? I'm like, go underwater.
And then you became a lifeguard.
And then I became a lifeguard, yeah. And then I hated myself. No, I did it with Lego. I bring Lego to the pool and like play with it in the water and everything. By myself.
I just see this terrible like scene happening where some kid's like drowning and you're like, I'll save you, and you grab your submarine and you're like,
he's drowning! Alright, question, sir.
Ever heard of Five Nights at Freddy's sister location?
That's a sequel to the Five Nights at Freddy's series, I believe, coming out here soon.
Yeah.
I only played the first Five Nights at Freddy's. I know it's got a huge following online, and it's a very successful video game. But yeah, it looks like it's a lot of fun. I'm glad people enjoy it. I know that some of our YouTube colleagues like Mando Pony and Living Tombstone make like music remixes for Five Nights at Freddy's. And they've like broken like 1 million subscribers because of it, so that's kind of cool.
So that's what we're doing wrong.
Don't worry about the kid thing. I found a bumper sticker that says cleverly disguised as a responsible adult. Yeah, it works, man. You don't have to grow up, just pay your bills.
Even Walt Disney, like Walt Disney, I love what he says about like adults who are like, you're a kid. It's like, no, what's an adult but a kid who's grown up? Or C.S. Lewis talks about that, saying like how he was afraid of being seen with childish things, and then he grew up and said, what the childish thought I had was thinking that childish things are childish. Yeah. So he put that away, saying, no, I don't care. I make stories, I have fun. I enjoy those things because the thought of me being embarrassed, that's childish. Yeah. So I know it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean nowadays, what was it, just last week I was at Walmart and I'm like, oh my God, they have Zootopia coloring books. And I purchased those things so fast and the lady's like, oh, yeah, for a little one? I'm like, nope. That's for me. It came with 3 crayons.
We've got 3 more minutes left, so let's go ahead and do some more questions. Let's see when we're back.
What's your favorite villain of all time?
Villain? Oh,
of all time.
Of all time, that's hard to answer. Because it's one of those things where like tonight I'll be like, oh, I should have said this instead. Initially?
I'm thinking of a recent one. More Dominator.
Yeah,
from Wonder Woman.
Yeah, she's a great villain.
I like villains who it's not, like they have a reason for why they are. Like, I like Kylo Ren. I think he's really cool. I know some people are like, wow, what a whiny little hot topic freak. But I really...
Best Disney princess.
Exactly. Kylo Ren's great, because like, you see that he's really, truly tormented, and I look forward to seeing like what's in store for him later on in the series. I hope he gets some kind of redemption. If he doesn't, that's going to be...
My favorite villain of all time was Dr. Terminus from Pete's Dragon. Like, there was just something like, I was actually, that's like the thing that I'm nervous about the remake coming out. I'm like, where's the singing villain? I need to know every little piece.
Magneto's another one. I feel like he's interesting how, like, where he stands with mutants and everything. I don't think he's completely wrong. It's one of those things where, like okay, one of the really popular thread I'll read about is, like, villains who did nothing wrong. Because there'll be some people where it's like, you villainize them, but in reality, they aren't that bad. Like, okay, who here has seen the movie Dinosaur? Okay, so there's a villain in the movie called, like, Crone or something like that, and he's leading the dinosaurs to, I guess, like a water ground or whatever.
Did he have cronies?
Whatever. So the in the movie, like the protagonist Aladar is like, we shouldn't let the old dinosaurs in the back, fall off, or we should do this and that. And he's like, dude, shut up. We've done this so many times before. I'm just doing my job. And at the end, he's kind of villainized. I'm like, well, he didn't do anything wrong. He was just doing his job. He's done like thousands of times before. Like, let him be.
I think it's. Go on.
Oh, I was going to move on to a different...
Oh, okay. I was just going to say, like, I kind of, slight tangent, but just, I always find movies that are interesting that don't really actually have a villain, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's your protagonist that's also kind of your antagonist.
A protagonist doesn't necessarily mean a good guy. More often than not, it usually is.
Like Inside Out, for example.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're like, wait, did Joy just cause a lot of these problems? Oh, wait a minute. So is she the good guy or the bad guy?
Sweeney Todd, that's a protagonist. Doesn't mean he's a good guy.
Yeah.
I see. Oh, hold on, one second.
I was gonna say, like, one of my favorite villains is also Frollo from Hunchback. Yeah. Because, like, you can tell that he's like a flawed character.
Yeah, he is. He admits it.
Yeah.
Go on, yes.
Are you excited for Rogue One?
No.
I think I'm one of the few people who actually kind of have any kind of like, I guess, reservations about it. I mean, Rogue One's new Star Wars anthology film. Anybody here excited for that? Don't be, just because I'm not doesn't mean you can't be.
I'll be on. Okay, so just to be honest, this is me with every movie coming out this year, as I'm like rooting for Zootopia to beat everything that comes out from this point on. So I'm like, Rogue One, you could be okay, but maybe not too good. Maybe just tone it down.
Finding Dory's gonna be good.
Finding Dory.
We'll see.
Dory is gonna crush it. Probably.
We'll see.
Finding Nemo made so much money when it came out. Finding Dory's gonna make a lot.
We'll see.
I think this is the end of the panel because it's 3:30 now, and I think we're getting time for us to leave.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you want to do like Whose Line.
Yeah, for the suggestions.
Oh yeah.
The hat and Whose Line, they're in the back over there. If you want to sign anything on the way out, like I think a handful of pens and a Sharpie.
And don't be shy, guys. We need as many suggestions as we can
get.
get.
Whose Line prompt, which is like just a random line of dialect, write down a W in the corner so we know that. So like Paley can sort it out for the show.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all for joining us. It's been a great time.
Yeah. Thank you.